You would be using Fulvic aim to pH down, correct?
Yes. Yes, because fulvic acid, the fulonic product sits at about a 3.2. You're going to have a very low acidity. So if your reservoir is starting to get a little hot and your pH is raising, you can use the fulvic acid. Generally, we'd say start at about a 2 ml per liter if you're looking to pH down and go from there. So add it to your reservoir and then regulate it and then check it. And then you can do another 2 ml per liter or 1 ml per liter, sort of graduated. But typically we found that it works really, really effective and it's stable, which is, I think, the biggest benefit is that you get a pH down and it's stable versus when we were talking about that yo-yo of going back and forth and having to constantly cross correct. You don't have to deal with that.
And that's a beautiful thing that everybody needs to consider because, you know, it happens to everybody in that type of a system. And whether you're growing cannabis or not, it's all plants.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo-yoing is no fun.
No, it's a stress for you and the plants. It's
just a little bit. Yeah, just a little.
We're all stressing out here.
So was this the one, Leighton, that you were mentioning humic acid might cause the immune system to become more active, and this could increase the symptoms of autoimmune disease from WebMD?
Yeah, that's misnomer. That's misinformation. The thing that we're missing is humic and fulvic acids in our diet. If we had a healthy food, there would be so much less autoimmune diseases. I mean, look where they came out. Look at what time they really exploded in humanity. And it was after the fertilizer revolution or the green revolution, whatever you want to call it. But no, that's definitely absolutely wrong. I mean, I used to tell people, drink compost tea. Just make sure that you know that compost is not anaerobic and is healthy. And you're going to get those fulvic and humic acids. And people that did it had amazing turnarounds in their health, similar to what Leah had. Same thing. I didn't have access to her product 15 years ago, but I noticed in my own health because I was constantly covered in compost or compost extracts that all of a sudden my health started getting better and better. So I'm a firm believer that, we need those in our diet. We're just not getting them anymore. And so please strike that down as misinformation, that this would not in any way affect. The only thing that would affect our autoimmune diseases is Pseudomonas. Certain Pseudomonas bacteria can wreak havoc on your immune system or make things that are the underlying flare up. So again, those are gram negative. They're anaerobic biology. So don't drink horse manure or cow manure, right? Use some common sense, but a really good aerobic compost, you mix it up in a little bit of water, and I've drunk it on the show before. It's very beneficial. So sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant.
Oh, no problem.
No, and I think also, like, if you think about what we've talked about this before, but that humic acid helps to reduce gram-negative bacteria, and it helps to protect the mucus lining in the digestive system.
Yeah.
So it's not going to contribute to something. We found, I've only had one experience where somebody had like a metal implant, and he found that he experienced some achiness in that joint. And I said, it could also be that tissue is getting more oxygen now because you have more nutrients coming into your system. You've got fulvic acid in your system now. And that pain and discomfort could be toxins or buildup that are now moving through. Like, that can cause some discomfort. And any kind of stress or discomfort can trigger autoimmune flares. I can tell you it does. But in the long term of your overall health, humic acid is only going to really benefit in your digestive system. Fulvic acid is going to get more integrated into your cells. So I can't I would have to see the study specifically, and I like to dig into studies. I have a whole bank, a whole library of studies on both agriculture, plant, livestock, and human that I dive into. So and like I said, I come from my father's a surgeon, so I come back from being highly analytical and getting right into the details of things. And if anything, that's why I've kind of fallen down this path, is it merges my scientific prowess and interest into my inner hippie. So, but yeah, I'd love to actually look into the actual study, because the thing with WebMD is that they summarize things, but you have to look into the actual studies that have been cited and look at what are they actually saying and what are their conclusions, because sometimes they're sort of drawn from a conclusion. It's not quite that clear.
Sometimes they set up the experiment to get the response that they want.
Traffic to WebMD.
Yeah.